Hello everyone, welcome back to G&J Exploring. This video is going to be the first of 6 hopefully, covering our recent trip to Costa Rica. We spent 2 weeks heading round the Pacific side of the country and had a wonderful time doing so. Hopefully these videos will be interesting and should show some of the more exciting things we did as we headed around the country. In this first video, we arrive in Costa Rica and stay the night in the town of Alajuela, just north of the airport. Once again, my pronunciations are probably going to be a bit poor, so please bear with me on that. After staying the night in the town, we head north to the town of La Fortuna, which is very close to the Arenal Volcano. And in the town, we do quite a few different things. We head to the La Fortuna Waterfall, we go to some hot springs to relax, we spend the day walking around the base of the volcano, and we go see some sloths on the Bogarin Trail. Heading to La Fortuna was really good fun. Obviously something to do when you're in Costa Rica with the volcano there and the sloths, and we would heartily recommend it. I hope you enjoy this video, and on with the show. It's a new day here in England, and Juliet and I are on our way to Costa Rica. So we're here at Gatwick Airport. We got up reasonably early, but not too bad. And now we've got a couple of hours before we get our flight. So hopefully we will see you in 12 hours time in Costa Rica. We have got through security without too many issues. The only slight problem is Costa Rica needs you to go to the desk to prove that you can come into the country, which we've done. And now we're in one of the lounges having some booze at 9 in the morning and waiting to get our flight in about an hour's time. After a fairly long flight, 12 hours or so, we are now in Alajuela, which is a town just to the north of the airport. We had a hire car, we got the hire car and we've come up here. So we've arrived at the hotel, which is very pleasant. It's called Sunrise by A1. We're in this small park, trying not to look too muggable, and we're now heading down the road just a little bit to find somewhere for dinner. Won't be doing anything else today, but tomorrow we'll be heading maybe into town again, but the main thing is heading up into the mountains to look at some waterfalls. So as normal, the last video was not the last video, and we're now in a very nice Tex-Mex restaurant having a very nice dinner, and it is a very nice place to come and visit. It's called Habaneros if you want to come and find it. We are now driving down the road from Alajuela. Probably pronounced that wrong again. But we're in a quite a cheap car we've hired from Sixt. It's called a Gaffy or something like that. It's very Chinese, very basic, but compared to everything else you can hire, it's very cheap. And to be honest, absolutely fine. Probably do a bit more of a tour around it later on. But for now, we're heading down the road, down Highway 1 towards a place called La Fortuna, which is up in the hills near the Arenal Volcano. And when we get there, we'll be going to go and see a waterfall. Juliet and I are here at La Fortuna Waterfall, and although we are in the dry season, it is very, very wet. There's rain, we're all both in our coats, but we have a very pretty view. Juliet's there. And it is still very warm, so once you get over it being a bit wet and the view's not being very long, it's actually not too bad at all. So we're going to be heading down to this apparently very impressive waterfall, and we'll get back to you when there's something to see. We have reached the first viewpoint, and although it is misty and rainy, and although I'm a bit grumpy because yet again we've found the waterfall with misty views, it is quite interesting seeing the waterfall appear out of the clouds as they sort of roll over the hilltops. Anyway, we've now got to walk down 500 steps to reach the waterfall at the bottom.
And this is the very bottom of the waterfall. And as you can see here, there is a strong current going downstream. Normally you can swim down there, but it's not for today.
And here we are now back at the top of the waterfalls, and as you can see, miraculously the rain has pretty much stopped and the clouds have gone, so we get this really nice view down towards the waterfall. Now waiting for Juliet to get back up here, and then we'll be going to a cafe to get a hot chocolate because it's been a bit of a long hike up. Juliet and I have now reached the Termalitas Relax Hot Springs, which are some quite reasonably priced hot springs here in La Fortuna. We're about 5 minutes from the waterfall, and we're coming here to have a nice bit of warm up. So the Termalitas Springs are in there, and we're heading in. They're only about £4 each to get in, which is very reasonable. They look good from what we're seeing on the internet. But now it's just a good time to have a look at our Geely car. It's Chinese, and it's not particularly amazing, but it is a little bit raised up, which is useful on the roads we're on. And the best thing of all, as I said earlier, it is very cheap. And to be honest, that's the best thing about it. So I'm currently in a cabana area where we're keeping our things. And if you go out here, you've got the really nice hot springs area. And after spending time in the cold waterfall area, it's nice to be here, and there's also a slide if we get bored.
And here is George at the Termalitas Hot Springs, going down the slide quicker than I thought actually. He's lost his glasses in a shock to no one.
We've now gone into the park a little bit more, and we are in one of the private pools for couples, and we're on like a seat, as you can sort of see to the side, and we're having a very nice time chilling out. We are now in our hotel, which is called the Roca Hotel here in Arenal, and we're in this very nice room. This is one of the nicer hotels we've booked. Not super expensive, about £70 a night, but very pleasant. Have a look. And we're very, very lucky that the volcano is sort of starting to come out. So we have this wonderful, if ever so slightly noisy view of the volcano in front of us. And hopefully tomorrow, the weather will be even better. We're now going to be heading down the road to get some dinner, and we'll see you in a little bit. We are having some dinner here at a local soda. And a soda is sort of a place you come if you're a local and you want some food. Now, we have forgotten to do this, so we have very much eaten our food, but we have this very nice view into the distance, and we're now going to be heading back down the road to a supermarket and then back to our hotel for the evening. And here we have the very impressive sight of a volcano in front with the clouds literally blowing off it. We have driven down the road a few kilometres, and we're now at the entrance to the Arenal Volcano National Park. So we've been in this very ridiculous queue for quite some time. Absolutely no idea what's going on, but we're getting there, and soon enough we'll be having a hike around, and hopefully we'll see some volcano. It took us a bit of time, but we're now in the park. So we are at number 4 right now, and we're going to be walking down to the viewpoint, maybe coming back through the rainforest depending on how we're feeling, and then we drive up to the viewpoint. And we're doing the walk first because at the moment it is a little bit cloudy still, and we're just going to play the odds on whether or not it is going to be a bit sunnier later on. So we are now at the viewpoint at the end of the path, and we've got this lovely view out towards the lake here in La Fortuna. And this is apparently a reservoir and not a natural lake, but it looks very pretty. Now if I turn around, we're going to see the volcano and a lot of angry people because we're right in their photograph. So we'll go look at the volcano now. And there we go. We've seen a lot of angry people, but we have a nice view of the volcano.
Oh my God.
So we are now back in the jungle, and once again we're walking around the base of the lava flow. So you can see the sign there. This eruption was from 1992, so only 30 or so years ago, but it's very much nature has recovered it. So I guess that's why there's such a steep bank here, because that's where the lava got to. But we're now got another 3 kilometres just walking through the jungle, and this jungle looks a bit different from the ones we came through earlier, maybe a touch more natural. I don't think this is walked as often. So we have continued down the path and we have come across some very interesting animals. In this small clearing we have a lot of tourists, mainly French and Americans, and they're all very annoying. But we do have this nice tree, which hopefully at some point we might get a photograph of. But here we are with the very nice tree and a very nice looking man. We are still at the very large tree, and luckily for Juliet and I, the rains have come. Now once again, we are far better prepared than most people, so we're quite happy here having a look at the tree. But the best thing is, it means there's nobody else here. So we'll have a quick look around. Not sure why this tree in particular is so big when all the other ones aren't, but you can see how impressive it looks. And apparently this is its name, maybe 400-year-old tree. And if we head in here we can see a spider's web, so I'm not going to be anywhere near that. I'm going to reverse out quickly and I'm going to spin round to over here. Juliet was just trying to scare me because she was pretending to be a spider, but if I come in here I can look up and I can see all the way to the top of a tree. It's very, very, very impressive. And here we have a very nice view of one of the rivers in the area towards the volcano. We have now driven around the lake a bit more to a dam, but at the dam are a load of what's it? No idea what they are, but they look very cute. So anyway, they're wandering around, and next up we'll probably have a quick look at the dam. And here we are. We're still looking at the animals. Somebody here said it might be called like a Cody or something. Not sure. Julie said it's like a coyote apparently. Still don't think that's right. But here we go. They do look pretty cool. Very chilled out, which probably means they're far too domesticated. But Juliet and I can have a very nice time having a look at them, play around. And they do seem very chilled out and nice to look at. We have now had some food at another soda, and we're now at the Bogarin Trail, which is in La Fortuna, and this is a bit of ground where some sloths now live. So we are going to be on a tour to look at some sloths. There's also some birds over there to the side, and it's going to be like a 2-hour tour around the forest looking at sloths, and then we can also come back tomorrow, which we might do, and look at them some more. And here we have a toucan-like creature eating a banana. And here we have an even bigger and prettier toucan having its lunch. So we are now in the park. We have seen some frogs, very nice frogs. We've seen the toucan obviously, and up there is a sloth, and it is going to be completely invisible to you, but it is there, I promise. And once again there's a sloth up there. Although if you can see it, you get an award. And now I need to go back to the tour, otherwise I'm going to lose Juliet. There she is, over there. And here we have a hummingbird, straight ahead. Again, almost certainly you can't see it, but it is there, I promise. And then if I spin around, you've got a very interesting view of the volcano, with the clouds going over the top of it, looking very nice. And we have just seen a poison dart frog, strawberry coloured. Not tasty though, apparently one of the deadliest things you can have. And we're having a very nice walk through the forest. Although of course, none of the things we can see, you've seen. So you'll have to take our word for it. We have just been shown a plant, which looks like a fern, has a slightly white back, but has the very impressive trick of putting designs on your stomach if you're not careful. So there we go. That's one top, very much redesigned. We are now in downtown La Fortuna, which is a bit American, a bit more rough and ready than where we've been. It's still very nice. As you can see, it's just lots of bars and hotels really. But we are at this Soda Visquez here, and we're going to have what I expect to be a very tasty meal. So we have now had our very nice meal, very pleasant, soda Vasquez thoroughly recommended, and now we are just having a little walk around this quite nice square. And as you can see, it's very pleasant. And there we have the nice local church in the distance, and you can in fact see the top of a volcano just to the side of it. So that is it for today. We will be going to somewhere called Rio Celeste tomorrow, which is a river about 2 hours drive from here, and we might not be going in the river today. It might tomorrow, it might be the day afterwards, but we will see you when we next have something interesting to see.